If you're just tuning in, we have been watching former President Donald Trump, who is speaking at a rally in Madison Square Garden in New York City. Thousands and thousands of people there. We have heard, by all accounts from our reporters who cover Trump rallies day in, day out, that this is the darkest rhetoric they have heard coming from this event tonight. Trump, who we have just gone through with Kristen Holmes and Alex Thompson, fact-checking a number of falsehoods that he has centered around immigration. And we also have heard from people who came before him on the stage and were cheered by that crowd. They called Vice President Harris the Antichrist, the devil. They railed against what they called effing illegals. This is some of what we have heard out of Madison Square Garden tonight. And of course, former president is still going. I want to go back to Kristen Holmes, who's inside. Kristen, we dipped out of the speech for a little bit. What more has he been saying?
I don't know,
Look, right now he's giving his general talking points, and a lot of it is I'm just on here, he's using the word nasty, so I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about, because I wanted to hear if he was referring to Kamala Harris or not, because that's not a word he often uses, but it doesn't sound like it. He has been using the same rhetoric that he often does. As you noted, there is a very heavy focus on immigration. Unsurprisingly, Donald Trump believes that dark, fear-based rhetoric around immigration is what helped get him into the White House in 2016, and he believes that it could help him again in 2024. Now, right now, he is talking about former First Lady Melania Trump. He is giving her a shout out. Just a reminder, she spoke tonight. This is the first time she has gotten up on the stage in any campaign event this cycle and actually spoken. She didn't attend either of the debates that he was at. She attended the RNC but did not speak. And the only other campaign event she has been at was at Mar-a-Lago, which is her home, when he announced his president's candidacy back in November of 2022. So she has been barely visible this campaign cycle, but she was on the stage again tonight. But overall, what we're hearing is a reprise of all of his greatest hits. He talks about the economy. He talks about tariffs.
Well, apparently, Donald Trump has had his most fascist speech of all, his most racist speech of all. And wow, I saw some clips and they're just outrageous. But you know, people need to understand that this is what it is about. It's about fascism for him. And it would finally, when a person gets desperate, they're most desperate. That's when they do the most reaching, right? And so he's going to reveal his true self before everyone, and this is what it really is. They saved this for later. So what gets me the most is that you will see there's even a black woman who's singing the national anthem. You will not believe this. I mean, what is she trying to do? She trying to outdo the immigrant or something? Like, what's the Indian guy? There's down with Trump, what's that guy's name? I forget. But in any case, sometimes it seems like even the immigrants are trying to outdo people on the racism. But this is the case where it's like, it's clear fascism. Why would you lend yourself to it at all? I mean, that's such a betrayal in itself, because there is nothing good about fascism. But yet, this was Trump's plan the whole time. It's not an accident. This is part of the whole connect with Russia too, because Russia is hella fascist, in case you didn't know. You see, and they don't lock the news down too well. But yes, they have been definitely known to have been, and so it's not surprising they would get down with the US fascists, But this is what it is, folks. From what I see, still, I'm not impressed. It just looks like a bunch of zombies, but I don't see growth. I see this as like a Hail Mary, like shit wasn't going right, the campaign, and this is like, I have to go home. Everybody said that you're not going to win New York anyway, so why are you here, right? It's a Hail Mary, it seems like it to me. But in any case, let's hear some more.
Check that. We talk about immigration. He clearly is doubling down on that fear-based dark rhetoric. This is something he believes is going to help him, propel him to the White House again in November. This is him on display. I think Alex said this. He is putting on a show right now. And one of the things I had heard before he came here was that he wanted to give the people a show, that's part of his idea for Madison Square Garden. One of the things that his team was saying was that Donald Trump is playing the garden, which is a typical, colloquial way of saying someone is at the Madison Square Garden, but they're treating him like he's a celebrity and this is his big performance. He's clearly now talking about his family, talking about how they're all involved in politics, talking about how helpful they've been, but most of this is a normal campaign speech for him, just ramped up on steroids, given the fact that he is here taking the stage at this giant venue. And again, I just really can't stress enough that even though we are talking about how dark, how divisive, how polarizing these comments can be and fear-based, the crowd is loving it. They are standing up. They are giving him different applause lines at various times, standing ovations at various times. They are receiving the information that he is putting out there. And as Alex said, we don't know if this is going to go further than just his base, but it does feel to the Trump team, who I've talked to on the ground here, that they are gaining some momentum while Donald Trump continues to use this kind of rhetoric on the campaign trail. So it doesn't seem as though he's going to dial it back or change any of his messaging in these.
You know what? They're always trying to hype it up to be more than what it is. They feel like they're on some kind of momentum. Oh, really? Is that the case? Because to me, even though it seems like there's a lot of people there, the energy, I don't see the energy. Instantly you could tell the difference, because at Kamala Harris's rally, she has to talk much louder to be heard, because the audience is riled up. Here, they're like very passive and seems like they've been on a long journey, got there late. You know what I mean? Probably was on a bus a few hours. Who knows? Really? But any case,
Final days before the campaign.
I want to get to the national anthem.
Yeah, and what's amazing too, Kristen, is that we've fact-checked a number of things that he has said, but if you're an American and your media diet is very narrow and you don't seek out the fact check, you don't seek out the truth, then this worldview can feel very real. And clearly there's so many in Madison Square Garden right now who feel that way, and who only know what they are being told. I also thought it was interesting. He did touch, when we were listening on Generals John Kelly and Milley, Mattis. He called them stupid and weak. Of course, Kelly and Milley.
Oh, that is so hilarious. That is so hilarious. They called him stupid, huh? He called him stupid. That's going to be interesting.
Just this week, we're talking about how they believe Trump is a fascist. What more have you heard about that?
And Mattis said he would agree with anything that John Kelly said. This is clearly three people who have spoken out against Donald Trump. It's unsurprising that he would call them stupid. He has name-called them before. He has been increasingly angry, particularly at General Milley and General Kelly, John Kelly. I mean, this is something we have seen now for several months. The campaign doesn't believe that this is going to impact them at all. They don't believe these kind of comments have impacted them. They'd say that John Kelly has already spoken out against Donald Trump. But you can tell that it's gotten underneath Donald Trump's skin. The fact that he's bringing it up at this rally, the fact that he's bringing up the two of them saying that they were stupid, that they made bad decisions, clearly goes to show that the fact that they have spoken out against him is getting underneath his skin here. It's something that's not that surprising, given the fact that Donald Trump is known to have thin skin.
Right. All right. Kristen, I want you to stand by. We do have Priscilla Alvarez, who is joining us by phone. And Priscilla has been with Vice President Kamala Harris all day in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. Priscilla, are you there?
I am. Hi, Jessica.
Hi. I just want to get your sense from what you're hearing from the Harris campaign as this is unfolding, because clearly they are watching this to see what happens. And Harris will say often, I invite you to watch Donald Trump's rallies and see what he says. And we have, as Kristen just described, a rally that has his rhetoric and this dark, dark rhetoric that we hear, but it is on steroids. So what is the Harris campaign seeing, and what are they taking away from this?
Well, and it's not only that the vice president has told people to watch the former president's rallies to see what he's about, but rather I have been to a rally of hers rather recently where she played clips of the former president talking about, for example, his enemy from within comments. So she has invited that into her own rallies to make her point that it is the former president using what she has described as the same tired playbook.
Look, Jessica, you know, you and
it is the same old tired playbook. It's the same old tired playbook, that's for sure. And but it's nonetheless this bad when the rhetoric is this bad. In a way, it's helpful because it lets everybody understand what you're dealing with. And for a long time, you know, some people couldn't understand that it was racism that they were hearing from Trump. Now it's blatantly obvious, you know. There's no way a person could be confused now. And but let me play some of this here so we can what is this? This was very, very interesting to hear. I lost my mind. Yeah, let's play.
Thank you for being willing to forgive those who ask for forgiveness and to use every single person to work for you for good. May our lives be a testimony of your love and truth, inspiring others to turn towards you. We thank you for hearing our prayers, and we trust in your perfect plan. We pray and ask for all of this in your heavenly name. Amen.
Amen. In your heavenly name, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome retired members of the New York City Fire Department to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all. Here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mary Milben to sing our national anthem.
All right, here it is. I mean, somebody has to ask her, what does she feel about the racist rant that she heard after this? She's opening this up, and then they came with a racist, oh my goodness.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets
Oh my goodness.
clear,
All right. Enough of that. Let's see here. Let's get to, who is this?
Behind the Comedy Store in LA, and I'm proud to say this is my 4th time performing at Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the damn world. The American dream alive and well right here. This is very different than where I'm used to performing, though. I'm used to nighttime with people drinking, not so many babies in the crowd, and people that are obviously only here for Lee Greenwood tonight. Normally, I don't make my political beliefs a known thing. It's divisive for a comedian to do that, but just know I sleep well at night knowing who I'm voting for. Yeah. Yeah. When I lay down and my head hits my pillow, it is a fantastic pillow, by the way.
Speed it up, man.
I was staying at the Four Seasons up by Central Park one night, and I laid my head down, and it felt so good, and I thought to myself, what an amazing pillow. I have a little bit of money now. I could buy a good pillow, and I took the pillowcase off, and there it was, my pillow, my pillow, my pillow. And damn it, I bought 4 of them. And if you use the promo code KILLTONY, you can also buy 4 my pillows. There's serious stuff happening, people. I live in the great state of Texas now. 18 years in Ohio, 20 years in California, and I got to see California.
They said he made a couple of racist jokes, but
these Latinos, they love making babies too. Just
here we go.
States of America with open arms, and by open arms I mean like this. It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside. Just know I sleep well at night knowing who I'm voting for. Yeah. Yeah. When I lay down and my head hits my pillow, it is a fantastic pillow, by the way. I was staying at the Four Seasons up by Central Park one night, and I laid my head down, and it felt so good, and I thought to myself, what an amazing pillow. I have a little bit of money now. I could buy a good pillow. And I took the pillowcase off, and there it was, my pillow, my pillow, my pillow. And damn it, I bought 4 of them. And if you use the promo code KILLTONY, you can also buy 4 my pillows. There's serious stuff happening, people. I live in the great state of Texas now. 18 years in Ohio, 20 years in California, and I got to see California turn to absolute horrendous thing. And traveling the world, I got to see San Francisco turn into one of the most demented cities, one of the greatest downfalls I've ever seen. And that is where the other candidate worked for 2 decades. And it's absolutely wild to see. And in Texas, stuff is really, really crazy. We're right there by a wide open border. Where are my proud Latinos at tonight? You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many of them. It's absolutely incredible. Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this.
Well, the thing is that he is likely a migrant himself. Like, who is this guy? How long has his ancestors been in the United States of America? And that's the thing that I've been saying about a lot of these guys. You find out that many of them, they don't really have that deep of American roots. Not really. Not all of them. Not like you would think so. Like, for example, what's the guy's name? What's this guy's name? From Fox. What's the dude's name? I forget, man, but he's like pro-Trump all the time, right? How could I forget his name? Sean Hannity, right? This guy is a second generation immigrant. Sean Hannity, and he's been holding it down for Trump for years now, right? So, you know, when you see these people talk about immigrants, it's like some of them you have to question, really. Like, what are they talking about?
It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country. Republicans are the party.
So are these jokes that he's just trying out there, or does he really support this bullshit? Here, let me hear some of this.
To give the art world a little something.
Nah, he's a waste of time. Let's go to the next one. Who is this guy?
Out of here somewhere.
Fight!
Oh, look, he's fired up.
You're a pretty woman like my...
Who is this? Nobody. Another nobody at a Trump rally. He's only there because he's angry. Let's see here. Come on. Do I have to watch this guy draw this whole thing? Here we go.
This is the final battle.
This guy's fired up.
So, I just got back from Israel about 2 weeks ago. They love Trump in Israel, just so you know, they love him. They love him and Bibi, they love them both. I'm in Israel and had the opportunity to break the Yom Kippur fast with Bibi Netanyahu. What an amazing night that was. Cried with Israelis in the streets. They listen to me from Jerusalem. They really do this. Like all of you listen to me, all of you. I get back and they go, Sid, you want to speak at this MSG thing? I go, sure. Out of character for me to speak at a Nazi rally. I was just in Israel, but I took the gig. She is some sick bastard, that Hillary Clinton, huh? What a sick son of a bitch. The whole fucking party, a bunch of degenerates, lowlives, Jew haters, and lowlives. Every one of them.
Damn, this, are they talking like this? Oh my goodness, I didn't hear this. I didn't hear this, man. This, you know, and keep in mind, like this guy, he just said he just got back from Israel. And this is what I was trying to say about a lot of these MAGA people. They mask this stuff as like American, but when you look at a lot of the immigrants involved with them, you have to wonder, like, what is their problem? Like, you know, is it about racism? Well, obviously you could see it is now. It's so obvious, right? But what gets me is, how could a Jewish person not recognize a fascist, not be scared of a fascist? That doesn't make any sense, right, in itself. You know, because that's exactly what Hitler was. So, and if you follow some of the history of all of that, you know, it's not even the Jews that were the first outlined to be put in those camps. You know, maybe that was part of the real plan, the ultimate plan, but they started off masking it as somebody else, another group first, you know? So it seems to me like a lot of these people are either like fakers, like, because there's a contradiction definitely in being supporting the fascists and being a Jew, I would think. But you know, for him to speak so poorly of others and feel so comfortable doing that openly, there's something wrong with this guy right here. There's something wrong. He would say or do anything. That's what it tells me. He would say or do anything. Don't trust, but he would say or do anything. Like he has no problem with that.
Nazi rally, I was just in Israel, but I took the gig. She is some sick bastard, that Hillary Clinton, huh? What a sick son of a bitch. The whole fucking
How
party.
can he call a woman that? How could he feel so comfortable calling a woman that? And do you hear this? This is just unfettered, like, hatred. You know, yeah, this is really, really bad. I'm curious about a lot of the black folk. It's okay to change, but I'm curious, is that are the same? I heard that actually it's less black men supporting Trump this year than the last time. That's what I heard. I heard black male support is up right now for Kamala Harris, higher than it was for Trump and Biden. That's what I recently heard. So, but let's hear some more of this crazy shit right here.
A bunch of degenerates, lowlives, Jew haters, and lowlives. Every one of
Who is he talking about? A Jew hater? Who is this guy talking about being a Jew hater? I think he's confusing a fanatic with being a Jewish person. You know, he's on some fanatic shit right now. This is not Jewish. You know, he is an extremist, and you can hear that just by how he's talking so easily, willing to talk about a woman that way. Does that sound Jewish to you? You know, hey, it's up to you. You be the judge.
them, every one of them. Look at my
But every one of them. That's something Hitler would have said.
city. Look at my city. Yes, this building is beautiful. You're all beautiful. Look at you. But you can't walk outside past about 10 o'clock at night here. If you're a pretty woman like my beautiful wife Danielle out there somewhere.
You hear that? So now he's going to go after just everybody else. You know, that's what fascism does. You know, they start off talking about one group and then they expand it. Yeah. So the people that didn't say anything early, they end up getting caught up in it later anyway, just because they sat there and watched and did nothing to stop it. You know, that's historical facts right there. Yo, but let's peep some more of this. Damn.
You got punched across the face just for walking down the street. Who did that? Bill de Blasio, Eric Adams, shitty Democrat mayors. Andrew Cuomo, Kathy Hochul, shitty Democrat governors. You got homeless and veterans, Americans sleeping in their own feces on a bench in Central Park. But the fucking illegals, they get whatever they want, don't they? Fine.
But look, let me see something here. 2 seconds. Because he's from Israel, right? I think he is he's implying that he's an Israeli and American citizen, a dual citizen. Let me see. Is 2 seconds. Now listen, here's something you need to understand about the nation of Israel, right? Israel, unlike the US, they get universal health care. They get universal health care, they get unemployment, child allowances. That means money when they have a child, they get money for that, and pensions, right? Everybody gets that, every Israeli citizen. So, yeah, so that's something to understand. Now, when he's talking about the US, he should understand that that's a Democrats and Republicans that operate a system that way. That's not Democrats. That's Republicans. Republicans don't want health care, universal health care for all Americans. Republicans don't want fair and equal housing for all Americans. Republicans don't want many things that citizens should be able to get since they paid the taxes. You know, Republicans only want to control people's bodies. They start off talking this way, and saying they're first for America, but they don't have a plan for any jobs or anything like that. Their only plan is to point fingers, you know, start a race riot, because they feel left out because they're not getting a handout, or they're not getting that privilege anymore that they used to get, and it feels bad for some of them. But if you're a dual citizen and you actually understand what having universal health care is about, the least you could do is advocate for Americans to have that, you dumb fuck. So now that I've said that, let me continue. Yeah, don't be a fake American. Be a real one.
5-star hotels, cash, probably get Yankee Dodger tickets tomorrow night. That's all about the Democrat rule, folks.
And I'm not excluding him either when I say this. Like, a lot of MAGA people, you have to ask yourself, how long have their families been American? Because a lot of these MAGA people, their families are not even American, haven't been around for a while. I'm not, and many definitely weren't around in the 1700s, in the beginning of the country. You best believe that. It's not all. So when they talk this stuff, they racialize it, but they don't realize, like, a lot of us have families that go back to when the country was colonies. You see what I'm saying? So mine does, on both sides of my family. So when I listen to this kind of rhetoric, these people talking about immigrants and blah, 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 I'm like, yo, ain't you a fucking immigrant? Like, aren't you an immigrant yourself? Something, and listen to how easily he could talk about someone whose family may have been there in the U.S. longer than his. How long has Hillary Clinton's family been in the U.S.? I mean, really, if it's going to come down to these kind of metrics, which Republicans always talk about, I don't think this guy's going to win.
It's blue cities, blue states, or a blue administration. There's only one person alive today that can fix all of it. Look at all your signs. He can fix it. You're damn right he can fix it.
Guess who can fix it? The candy man can. Who can fix your window? Sprinkle it with dew.
Hey, Trump.
Donald J. Trump can. The candy man. All right. Anyway, let me just get past this dude. This dude's a loser. All right, next.
American people.
Listen to her accent, that countrified shit.
He claims to champion
Let me slow it down.
women, yet he pushes policies that under women, every single woman here. By the way, they can't even define what the hell a woman is. Get the hell out of here. They think we'll be fooled, that we'll believe.
I mean, how do we know that she's a real woman? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. How am I supposed to know? Anybody looked up her dress? I mean, how do we know, really? You see what I mean? Like, she's questioning other people, but who's questioning her? You see, I think that's what the problem is going to be. It's always like that with these MAGA folk, man. You find this stuff out later. Like, the guy who hates the trannies the most, he's got caught watching tranny porn, talking about, describing it, even how he likes it and all of this stuff. Yeah, that's Mark Robinson, Trump's, the dude Trump endorsed right down there in North Carolina. He's up on the ballot right now, as a matter of fact, for the governor spot. So you should peep him. He also said that African Americans should be the ones to pay reparations, if anybody should. Yes, he did say that. And he said other things about women too. So these people, they're full of hate. They're full of hate. A lot of hatred, on rhetorical hatred, I would say. A lot of mouth.
their empty promises and be bribed with garbage like loan forgiveness and policies that will cost this country and my children's America trillions of dollars. But we are smarter than that, New York. This is the party of strength, resilience, and a voice that echoes around the world. Our voices cannot be silenced, and this movement will not be stopped. So when Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, Jack Smith, and the Harris-Biden administration came for my client, President Donald J. Trump, they didn't just come for him, they came for us. So on November 5th, New York, we are going to right this ship. In 9 days, you'll make the choice for
Wow.
an America that works for we.
It's amazing how confident these MAGA folk are. It is incredible, I mean, they don't give it's not giving confidence. You know what I'm saying? If you get my meaning. If you look at the crowd, it's a flat crowd. Look at what they have to say just to get a rouse out of the crowd. They have to stoop so low just to get a rouse out of them. That's really what you're watching here. And but outside of that, it's really flat. There's no energy in there. There's no energy. This is that sucker energy, which makes me talk about why they rely on weapons so much too. The Second Amendment, it's like, yo, you scared to just have a fight one day? What's your problem? Like, really? That's how a lot of these people act. That's, it's really punk behavior and dumb, really narrow-minded, just too idiotic for anybody in 2024, But yeah, let's hear some more of this bullshit. I'm gonna go over to Trump. Excuse my language, y'all. Excuse me.
The people, not
Blah blah blah. Let's see. I can't stand her. That's Laura Trump. I don't know. Is she one of the daughters, or is she? No, I think she's a wife of one of the sons, maybe. They like to keep family.
It don't make sense.
Or who is that? Let me know who that is. But who is this?
She proposes 20 million people to get new businesses. She's going to give tax money to fund 20 million new businesses while we have 22 million small business owners in America that are breaking even or losing money. And lastly, the most insane of the insane, she wants to tax unrealized capital gains.
Has anybody fact checked that?
No.
See, the thing about these people is that everything they say you have to fact check, because they have a tendency to lie about everything. So what he's just saying, I've never heard of that. I've never heard anyone say that, repeat that before. Where did they get that from? And again, you're dealing with the MAGA folk. So fact checking is a must. I'm like, I can't even listen to this. If he's going to quote something, I wonder where he got that info from. But let me just scroll through and see.
What you believe. New York. Do you believe in America? You are at
See, that's flat. Yeah.
the right rally.
But see, that's a whole stadium damn near full of people, and all you heard is, yeah. See, that's not that
And
loud.
believe that we are one nation under God is right here. Is right here.
Yeah, it sounds a little flat to me. All right, let's see here. Here's crazy Giuliani, Mr. Ink, coming down the side of his neck. Hair ink. Dripping. Yes, that's him. This is the dude that has lost all of his homes, all of his money for having a big mouth for lying on two sisters who were doing their job, just counting the damn votes. And he had to make up this malicious lie about them, attack them, make up lies, election lies. Yes, he lost that civil case. That civil case is in the hundreds of millions. Yes, he's gone. He has no money. He's been forced to give over properties to these ladies. Yes, indeed. It's already started. And here they are clapping it up for him. Yay! Yeah, Giuliani. The would-be mayor of New York went down as the crook of New York. No different from those he bust. when he was the lead prosecutor or district attorney. So here we go.
Which is why Donald Trump came here.
Giuliani is a total hypocrite, phony. That's really what he is. I mean, can you imagine how many years he went around chasing criminals for a living? That was his main thing, you know. So good at it, he took down the mafia, and then what did he do? Sell out to the mob. Yes, he sold out. I bet you the Russian mob probably have him by the nuts. They have this story about him. He's on tape with a young woman, actually, I believe, trying to solicit sexual activities. It looked like, yeah, it looks like that they have him out there, you know. Yeah, it just makes you wonder what did he do to get so desperate to have to involve himself with all of this. But yeah, he looks like a very desperate man. But here, let's speak.
There's no place in America the president shouldn't be able to come. Remember New Palestine? Remember New Palestine when they had the subway derailment? Place
Palestine, New Palestine. It's not Palestine, it's Palestine. Look, these are, yeah, anyway.
It was horrible. People are still dying. He went there. I went there. I did my television show from there. It took
anyway.
They better not.
It's not giving.
Try again. Donald Trump answered the question without a doubt as to who can lead us out of this morass of socialism, fascism.
Look, it is so crazy. They're like socialism, fascism. Man, the average American wouldn't even know what those things are because they live their own reality, you know? But having everybody covered by healthcare, that's not a socialist thing. That's a, intelligence thing. That's a medical thing. That's wise. The more people you have that are healthy, obviously the less you have that are sick. That's how sickness is spread through people, so often many. You see, so I don't know what this guy's up to. I don't know what kind of trouble he got into, or if this is really like the real him. Like, is this how he really thought all those years he was fighting crime? He is a complete, utter failure of a human being. To see a human being fall so low, it is crazy, man. But that would be Giuliani, yeah.
And communism.
Communism.
That the Biden regime has put it in. He answered it.
Look, you guys, Trump gave out 2 COVID checks. Why is that not communism and socialism? Biden gave out 1, and you calling him a socialist? You see, that doesn't make any sense. There's nothing that they say that makes sense. You can't. You could waste your time fact checking it. You could just sum it up as a lie because none of it's going to be true.
Oh, in so many speeches and so many rallies, and in the great work that he did as president.
All right, let's get on with this. I know there's a lot of atrocious shit, but okay, let's hear this. This guy's a flat earther. So I don't know. He was also an anti-COVID guy before. Let's hear him. Hey.
Ask me why I left the Democratic Party.
Is this really how he talks? Oh my God.
Democratic Party left me.
He said the Democratic Party left him. Man, nobody's going to buy that. Nobody's going to buy that. You carry the party. That's what you do with a party. You carry it. Every individual carries their own weight. What the hell is up with this dude? The Democratic Party left me. You ain't nobody. You know, what the hell, fool? Who are you? Who is this guy? He's sometimes they just go out there and fake because they know these people are so stupid. Listen to what he just said.
And I say, I don't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left me. This is not the party anymore of Martin Luther King, of Robert Kennedy, of John Kennedy. That was the party.
Now it's the gaslighting because they just got finished calling it out Biden for being socialist, okay, and communist. Well, isn't that what they called Martin Luther King? That's exactly what they called him, you know, and he was, you know, some people think he was killed over that reason too. You know, I just think he was a black man, but, you know, but this is where the gaslighting comes because they're sitting up there saying the most racist things you could say, fascist things you could say, and then they flip it around and say, well, aren't the Democrats, aren't they still the party of Martin Luther King? This is some bullshit.
It was the party of
anyway, sucker, your time is gone. You're old. Just go die. Go somewhere and die. Nobody got time for his ass. And if the United States of America happens to elect this fool, like I said many times, I voted for Kamala Harris electronically, right? But I live outside of the U.S. So you know, what we get for our taxes is a little bit different than what Americans get for their taxes, typically, you know, U.S. citizens. So I'm like, if they want to elect Trump, if they need 4 more years to figure out how bad Trump is, go for it. Why not? If that's what you want. But I think people are just going to regret it. You know, that's it. And regret it even more because this time he's even more dangerous. He will have no restraints. And you better believe that in itself is going to attract all the worst elements to the table for Trump. And they will abuse everything. There will be nothing stopping them from committing any crime. Can you imagine someone that's just some people that come into your neighborhood, but there's just nothing, nobody can do anything about it? That's basically what you would be unleashing on the U.S. They would just use Trump as a vessel.
Garden, honor to be here, and it's wild. Just another day following Bobby Kennedy Jr. at a Donald Trump rally in Madison Square Garden. I mean, what? That's totally normal. Liz Cheney's out there with Kamala Harris. And there's Bobby Kennedy calling to protect women's sports at a Trump rally. It's a realignment. It's unbelievable. And the fact that it's here is even sweeter. Imagine if and just pause for one moment. Imagine you're Donald Trump. You're from New York City. You become famous in New York City. You make your fortune in New York City. And all of a sudden...
And you defraud New York City people, taxpayers. You defraud them out of hundreds of millions of dollars. You know? That's the thing about it. And so he wasn't a hero to New York. Look, his father used to come out of the building, the high rise one day, and he would come out and give the bum, some money, and that he's such a nice guy. Wab Funk, what's up? Hold on, let me read some of these comments. Hey, Golf, what's up? Oh, okay, I see y'all been in the chat. Oh my goodness, man, my fault. Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I checked out for a second on accident. My computer had to restart. But American politics is literally entertainment. Let me see here. Yeah, it is. This dude is throwback from the Kennedy legacy. Yeah, yo, man, for real. These guys are a bunch of busters, man. I hope American citizens really stop going for this dumb shit. The U.S. is the most powerful country on the earth. The only mistake they make is the two parties don't agree on treating Americans first. They don't want to. They want Americans to pay for school. They want you to pay for technical school. They want you to pay for university. They want you to be in debt while other countries are paying their students to get these things. Things like that in the US shouldn't have to argue over, but Republicans don't want that. The Republicans, they don't want to release student debt. No, 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 no. That's not what Republicans want. But these people, this is who's fighting it. Look, these people, there's been a bunch of black people saying, what have Kamala Harris done for us? What have Biden done for us? Well, if you look at what's being held up in the Supreme Court, what passed through Biden's desk that he signed specifically for black folk was something that where their name is mentioned, black Americans, African Americans specifically, right? The Republicans have it held up in court. It's them holding it up in the courts. So, and these it's two bills that are active still right now. So, I think people need to, like they said, research earlier when I started the program, research, do your fact finding, be prepared because you're living in a world, the MAGA world is the world of total lies and make believe, they can make up anything. And this guy right here, I think his name is Tucker Carlson. I believe he's about to make up a whole lot of shit right here on the blue watch.
Leadership of New York City decides they're going to destroy you because they don't like your politics. And so yeah, boo. Imagine if that were you, though. And they try and take everything that you have. They try and put you in prison. They try and put your children in prison. If that happened to you, how often do you think you'd be going back to New York City? How about never? And yet he's here. It's like getting thrown out of a bar. And you think to yourself, well, all my friends are in the bar. And you approach the door and there's the bouncer like, you're not allowed in.
Wab, listen to this bullshit. And then think about the question you just asked me. Listen to this bullshit. See, this is the problem. Americans have gotten used to this dumb type of shit. And so the bar has been brought down on their analytical thinking. You know what I mean? They're going for tropes right about now with this party. It's nothing but tropes. There's no science to it. There's no real math. There's no real knowledge, no real information about MAGA. You see what I mean? Nothing to do with governance or industry or, social welfare, housing, employment, all these education, healthcare, nothing to do with that. You see how much time he's been talking, and he none of them have touched on any of that. Everything about them is they want to talk about how the Democrats are the immoral group. They're somehow immoral. They're socialist, communists, because they want to talk about healthcare in the richest country that's ever existed on earth. That makes you a communist? No, it makes you a stupid motherfucker for paying taxes in the richest country that's ever existed on earth. That's what it makes you, because you're not getting what you should get back for your tax dollars. It makes you stupid. That's what it makes you. And Wab Funk, I'm glad you said this, because no, the level of debate is a little in Europe. I would have to say we have some of these weirdos like this from time to time, sure, but they would all sit back and marvel at Trump like, damn. They would be like, now we realize that shit's not cool. Yeah, they would be like that. They're like, damn, because they do it in their little small way. But when you get a chance to see Trump do it, and Trump's behavior is a betrayal of humanity. It's a betrayal of humanity because the truth of the matter is that most of the differences people have, if they're political, they're induced in the US. Like this stuff about making people pay for education, this thing about not having universal health care, this thing about no unions, stuff like that. That creates a culture and an environment where, things shift and alter so much that The degrees are just different of severity in the U.S. I think people, they don't see it. They've gotten null to it, and maybe some of the people who see it don't vote. But I think the media plays a big role in it too, man. I think Europeans don't want their children being dumb, and Americans do. Basically, I'm serious. That sounds so horrible to say, and the reason why I say it is because the United States doesn't take a logical and rational approach to education or to healthcare. It takes a money. If you can make money off of it, it must mean it's good approach. And that's not how you need to do things. 100% of your economy doesn't need to flow that way for it to work for the people best. You see what I mean? It's okay to have the biggest GDP. That's fine. But the money can circulate and cover more people and still be the same amount of money that it is, or even bigger. You see? So it's just some weird politics, bro. I mean, let me let me drop the link, bro. Here you go. Sure, hop on up. There we go. Let's see there. There you go, bro. Yeah, and but this Tucker Carlson shit, this is some bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh shit. I'm sorry. I put the link, but you can't see it. Hold on. Let me drop it again. Here we go. Boom. There you go. And this Tucker Carlson is garbage. There's nothing to what he's saying. He's not talking anything that an intelligent, educated man would talk. He's just talks prejudice. That's all he does. He all day long, and it doesn't match up with the facts, which is why when they talked about those Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, they didn't realize that they're taking jobs other people didn't want. Other people don't want the jobs. Oh, hop on up. Oh, there you go. And instead of changing their story, they just doubled down on it. No, we're going to tell this story again. They were eating the cats and the dogs. It's like, no, they weren't. And the only person that ate a duck was a white man from Springfield, and they blaming it on Haitians. And then they're like, they getting cheaper housing than us. No, that's not what's happening. What's happening is that these people are working, so you have to provide them a place to live. The town didn't even have adequate housing, bro. So they're mad because they're providing it. Yo, you there, Wab? Yo, Wab, can you hear me? Oh, okay. He must be getting his mic together. But yo, let's listen to some more of this lunatic, man.
In here. But from behind the bouncer, you hear the cheers of your friend. Come on in! And the bouncer hangs his head in shame. Ugh. He's embarrassed that he's working for the man trying to keep the most popular person out of the bar. And that's Donald Trump back in the city that produced him with no embarrassment at all in a room full of his friends. The stones that takes, the bravery that takes is incredible. Donald Trump's going to win. He's going to win. I know that that's true. Why is Donald Trump...
Don't get mad when he loses, and please accept the loss like a man and not like a little bitch. Because these MAGA people tend to take losses like infantile, like little babies. Yo, Wab, are you there? Your mic isn't on, bro. Just to let you know. But you up, so just chime in. Yeah, but this is, that's what they do. We're gonna win. Oh yeah, well, you got to do more than just say it. You got to get your ass out there and make it happen. And from reports, the MAGA turnout is not that high generally and has been dropping significantly. Now, this just happened last night, so maybe they had a good night, but typically they've been dropping. And that's not a good sign for voter turnout. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. No problem. Wab he's gonna hop back up. Yeah, so yeah, this is the same old from these folks. You know, they say they want to win, but they don't want to have the rules apply the same to them when you're in a competition. That's the problem with them. So, and when they don't get to break the rules, then they cry and they say that hey, you stole it from us. You know, I mean, that's literally what they do. These are sore losers. These are sore losers. And a sore loser is good for nobody. It's not good for anything. Um, getting, see, this is the worst part about it. They don't even want to do the work to win an election, really. But at the same time, they have a problem with somebody getting universal health care. They have a problem with somebody getting fair and equal housing. Who would be against that? You see what I mean? They have a problem with, oh, why can't we have student debt? You know, I work for it just like my parents work for it, just like theirs. Why can't I? You know, all of this stuff in a country where everyone wasn't equal. You see, it's always like this, trying to explain what equality and fairness is. And promoting equality and fairness is not communism or socialism. It's just called being fucking cool and decent. You know, that's what that is. Don't ever make somebody make you feel guilty for thinking that the bare necessities are something you need to be fucking grateful for when you worked for it. You know, and they have a lot of Americans in some sort of little spell thinking that working harder is generating the outcomes they want, when the rules don't apply to everyone. You know, you go to other countries and people are actually getting more out of their tax dollars. It's just that simple. And they seem to understand, yeah, universal health care works great for me. Hey, oh yeah, free school, that works great for me. Education, free tech school, free university, paid even. Hey, that works great for me. Why would that be bad? Fair and equal housing, hey, that works great for us. Wow, that's great for our people, you know. And Americans are like, no, richest country in the world. No, that's not. We don't want those things for our people. And you see, they go so far as to mask it. They're so horrible with their hatred that they would rather not have all those basic fair things from taxes doing what tax money should do. They would rather not have that, and just so they could hate on somebody else. That is insane. That's really what we're watching right now, you know? Just bent out of shape, poor losers. Yo, Wab, you there? Yo, Wab. Okay, I don't hear him again. Yo, I don't know what's up, Wab. You got to try to get the mic together, bro. I can check it for you. No, I can't check it. Yeah, I think you got to log out and try to hop back in. Let me drop the link again too. Let me see here. But these folks are sore losers. They're the epitome of sore loser. And keep in mind, if you don't let them win, they want to come and shoot you after and then lie and say you attacked them or some phony shit like that. That's how they live every day of the week. That's their creed. It's called fake and phony, you know, crying victim. You see, while being the victimizer, while crying unfair, while being the group that always wants unfairness to be the rule of law. You know, let me continue. See what else this fool got to say.
Gonna win. The people he's about to defeat have no idea. And they're panicked. They have no idea why people like Donald Trump.
Hey, look, I guess he's going to try to do the Jedi mind trick now. The people that panic, they have no idea.
And their first theory was, well, Donald Trump is evil, so half the country's evil also.
Nope. That's not what people said at all. That's not at all what people said. And that's definitely not what Kamala Harris has been saying. She's been actually kind of, in some kind of way, made a connection with some of these people, you know. She doesn't speak like Trump to people that show dissent. She speaks respectfully of people that show dissent from her. And That's the problem with this group of people here. When they don't give credit where credit is due, that's their failure in itself. It's not other people that are the failure to them. They're the failures to themselves, literally. Yo, Wab, you there? Oh man, that's terrible. I don't know what that's about, bro. I'm not too up on this technical stuff over here. Let me check one thing though. Let me see here. Audio. You got to go into your audio settings, man, when you log in first, and then see what they're set to, and then log in. Like when you first hop up, it gives you a chance to adjust your audio. I think you got to do it then. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, but I'm gonna give Wab another chance to hop up. Yeah, adjust your mic when you hop up next time. Wab. Let me see here. All right, so let me get past this fool though. Let me see here.
And that's one of the reasons they spent the last 4 years trying to destroy the country, because they're mad at its voters for liking Donald Trump.
What is this delusion is he talking about? So they spent 4 years trying to destroy the country? Is that what he just said? He said Dems spent 4 years trying to destroy the country.
Panic. They have no idea why people like Donald Trump. And their first theory was, well, Donald Trump is evil, so half the country's evil also. And that's one of the reasons they spent the last 4 years trying to destroy the country, because they're mad at its voters for liking Donald Trump. How much easier would it have been just to pause for 20 minutes and ask yourself honestly in some silent place, why do people like Donald Trump? And if they had been honest enough to ask themselves that question, they would have come up with the two main reasons, and here's what they are. The first reason that people like Donald Trump is because he likes them. That's why. And it's real. Affection is something you can't fake. I don't care how many times Kamala Harris would tell me she loves me, I don't believe her. I saw her kiss her husband with a mask on. A mask on. That's her version of love.
See, so this whole thing, all of these people, these are all experts from Maga, and none of them have policy to offer. The entire platform has no policy agenda. They claim it's not Project 2025, though, right? This is so ridiculous and sickening, and it's out there for everyone to witness too, which is historical, right? In a sense. But yeah, man. Let me see here. Frank. Okay, what's up, Frank? Let me see here. This is so dangerous. These people want to destroy, and I just don't understand why. And the people just eat it up, and it makes me, yeah. I mean, it makes me, it's hard to listen to them say this, right? But at the same time, they're not too bright, because this policy that he's running on, you know, the U.S. government requires people to operate it, number one. So you cannot just think that you can do anything you want in the first place, because at its very base is people. So whatever shenanigans they're up to, you can see, because they have no real policy to offer, then they will be limited in scope, because everyone will expect the obvious, that Trump is going to do some backdoor dealings. Of course, he will jeopardize the country's security, you know, so no one's in doubt about what he's up to anymore. So that's the good thing. But I agreed, man, this is so scary. It's scary. And what I would tell people to do is go out and vote. Like, don't sleep on your vote, because although I have no doubt, like I said, people will be stopping any type of anything too crazy from jumping off. But at the same time, the American people should be able to forego all types of chaos. Like, just because you have a hurricane, the cleanup matters. how well you clean up. And there's always other problems coming. So to create a political problem, these people are creating a political problem. There's nothing happening to them. They just are thinking it's only happening to them and reacting like that. Like everybody experience for them is like a nightmare. Like, it's like, what's their problem? What are they complaining about? They live under the same circumstances as everybody else. So where's all of this coming from? This extremity, it's yeah, I don't know if they really think this magic trick is going to work. They obviously do, but my personal view is that the internet trolls don't vote. And from what I've been hearing, outside of this rally right here, there's been slow turnout to Trump's rallies for a while now. So that suggests there's not a lot of excitement going on the ground. The polls might show one thing, but the ground is not showing what the polls are showing, not in enthusiasm, But let's see here.
It's fake. It's not
They're making everybody know what's at stake, That's for sure.
real. They spent 10 years telling you Trump is a hater. Do you feel that on him? No, you don't. Because it's not.
I hear it on him. He says it. What the hell is this dude talking about? Look, they had this guy. Look.
Garden, I'm body slamming giants.
I'm ashamed to have watched this shit. WWF. Is that what it's called? Hulk Hogan and all of this stuff when I was younger. Not too tight, but when I was young, you could see this. It was kind of funny actually, but
I'm winning world heavyweight titles, and I'm
but he's pathetic, man.
cracking people over the heads with steel chairs.
And of course, he don't have no policy. So I don't want to. Oh, look at this. I don't want to insult you all by watching Hulk Hogan, but here, look, Mr. Brainwash
down there. And you know what? I saw neighbors helping neighbors and not one.
Look, here's the psychologists who don't want everybody to have health care. I figured it out.
One of them asked, "Are you a Democrat or a Republican?"
Yep. Another weirdo. Okay, let's hear this. This might be.
The world help us fortune.
It is an honor to be here with all of you at Madison Square Garden.
I'm sorry. I just had to slow it down just a little bit. But it actually sounds way slower than what it is.
Now think about this. For more than a century, America's most celebrated heroes and legends have made history inside this iconic arena. This, where we stand, is where the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, faced Joe Frazier in the fight of the century. It's where the King, Elvis Presley, played for 80,000 screaming fans. It's where the immortal Hulk Hogan pinned the Iron Sheik and let Hulkamania run wild. And now, on the eve of the most important election in our history, the greatest champion of them all, Donald J. Trump, has come to Madison Square Garden.
And the next will be Godzilla. King Kong.
And I believe in just 8 short days, we are going to turn the United States of America red and make Donald J. Trump the President of the United States.
I don't know what's up with Dr. Phil endorsing Trump. Yeah, he's endorsing Trump. He is, man. That's an endorsement.
Now, my friends, I've got the easiest job in American politics. Think about this. All I've got to do is remind people what life was like when Donald J. Trump was president of the United States.
You know what? I mean, people should get real. You know, I don't understand what they thought was going on. Like, were things that well under Trump? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that things couldn't have problems or anything like that. I'm just saying when people say they were well, how well? Does it just mean like getting by well, or does it mean like was really earning well, or, you know, because the data is not suggesting that, you know, but he's feeding off of that sentiment. You know, obviously he's feeding off of it. Yo, let me read the chat. Hold on, I'm sorry. Late American culture in full play. Yes, they spelling it out, man. Bruh, is this just not African, Hispanic, and European Americans just playing culture politics? Man, tell me, bro. I feel you. They have erased 2020 from their mind. Absolutely. They erased that and a whole lot of other stuff that was going on, man. There was, you know, violent crime was up under Trump. You know, don't ever forget that. A lot of people, you know, want to forget that too. Pretend like that didn't happen. I'm not the one that's saying that the U.S. was perfect under any party. That's not me. My whole thing is like bare minimum is the problem in the U.S. In the U.S., the richest country on earth, the most powerful country that's ever existed on earth, at the bare minimum, the citizens from their taxes should be getting universal health care, you know, education, paid education or free education in the technical schools and in the university. I don't see why students should be in debt, not in the richest country on earth when other countries are getting people educated without that, you know, paying them even. You see what I mean? Also, there's some other things. Elder care. People need to start thinking about there's better ways to do elder care. And also, I think in general, like housing, right? Fair and equal housing. You know, I think that's why I like the Dems platform. And I think, you know, of course, Biden got a lot of other shit done that people will will actually gain when he's gone. Actually, it's the infrastructure project. That was a huge one. The rollout has just begun on that. You know, that's like multi-trillion-dollar project, you know, so infrastructure. So that's a lot of jobs. And those are technically trained jobs. So yeah, but in any case, let me see here. So all races are very well represented in all the politics. Yep. Feels like it's about those. Yeah, man. These people, they're just crazy, man. They have feelings, but their feelings are just being misused and misled. You know, it's just crazy.
We had peace.
But they're being straight up fascists about it. So
we had prosperity. Take-home pay was rising the fastest that it had in 40 years. Inflation was at 1.5%, the lowest that it had been in a generation. Gas and groceries were affordable.
All of that shit Trump got from Obama anyway. You think Trump was able to just walk in there and start, you know, having a negative effect quickly? No, Obama got past something worse than he gave. He got past the problem and he gave Trump a success. That's what he did. And Trump gave catastrophe. That's what he did. You know, people forget to they forget the middle parts. You know what I mean? But in any case, let's hear some more of this real quick.
And when Donald Trump was president, we had the most secure border in the history of this country. That's the Donald Trump record, and that's a record that's going to win in just 9 short days. Now, I'm going to maybe surprise a little bit of the folks in this arena.
All right, let's go. Oh my God.
What is the other
Look at
candidate
this.
proven?
Look at this. He's gonna back up fascist shit. You know, this guy is sickening, man. He makes me regret that I was ever watching these MMA fights, UFC fights, particularly. Like, this is a big letdown because, especially in martial arts, man, there's not supposed to be room for fascism. You know, everyone is supposed to be equal, just as they are for the man they are, you know, or woman they are, right? And this guy, he turned it into something else by allowing this, you know, kind of racial talk and all of this stuff, man. He's a dumbass, but he's rich, so you can't tell people nothing. Nope. But they will talk about same people will talk about Bill Gates, but if you talk about this dude, no, you can't do that.
She can get your party's nomination without even facing voters. What else? What else can she offer the American people other than vague promises and no plan?
How did I know that he would be a woman hater? Let me how could I have guessed that? This is some bullshit. Let's go back. Let's hear this, because he sounds like he's about to go on a rant. Damn, I forgot he almost could be this negative. He acts like he really knows Kamala Harris personally or some shit.
We are 9 days away from the most important election of my lifetime. Stakes have never been higher, and the choice has never been clearer. President Trump and I have been friends for 25 years. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. He is the most resilient, hardest working human being that I've ever met in my life. I know he's a great leader.
He's not a fraud at all. He doesn't defraud people. He doesn't defraud taxpayers. No. He doesn't do that by, you know, over evaluating his homes and then under evaluating them to get through a little, you know, loop. Nah, he didn't do that.
This is not my opinion, not my hope. He's proven he can build the strongest economy in American history.
Oh my God. The strongest economy in American history exists right now. It's already been done. You have to raise the bar.
He's proven he can secure our borders and keep our nation safe. He's proven to be the strong leader allies and adversaries alike must respect. He's proven he loves this country so much, he's literally put his life on the line for it. What is the other candidate proven? She can get your...
The more that they rely on that thing about Trump being shot at, the more it makes me think, like, was it faked or something? You know, like, why do they keep mentioning that if he's okay? You know, sometimes that shit happens. Every day when you're the president, somebody is shooting for you. You get death threats and all of that. That's just the job, you know. But he seems like he's like trying to milk that cow, man.
Party's nomination without even facing voters. What else? What else can she offer the American people other than vague promises and no plan?
Give her a chance. You know, how about that? You gave Trump a chance. You gave him a chance, and he was a fraudster. He was a or what, had committed, well, now he's adjudicated for, so he's a sexual offender, he's been adjudicated for that in the civil court. So he lost that case. So he's got all these accusations of young people, young girls, yeah, things with Epstein also. I mean, and this guy is so angry at Kamala Harris.
She talks a lot about the need for change and her hope for the future. Hope and change. Does that sound familiar? She can use the old Obama playbook, but she's not Obama, and she is no agent of change. She is the sitting vice president of the United States right now. What she hopes is voters will focus on the future, because she doesn't want us looking at the last 4 years to see what we really need to change. We need change from sky-high inflation. According to Yahoo Finance, the cost of groceries is up over 25% during the Biden-Harris administration. Food is unaffordable for most Americans. That has to change. We need change from wide-open borders. BBC News reports illegal immigration reached record levels since they took office, with an estimated 10 million border crossings. That's a 300% increase compared to the Trump administration, and that's not including the unknown millions who cross undetected. That is the record of the other candidate, the border czar of the Biden administration. We need change from weak foreign policy. According to the Institute for Economics and Peace, a nonpartisan think tank.
All right. Well, Dana White is not really an expert on none of this stuff. So sorry. I'll let him stick to the wrestling. But yeah, exactly. And I hear he's not doing that well, actually. But I heard he doesn't pay those fighters well in the UFC. That's what he has a reputation for. So don't ever forget that, people that take Dana White to be an example. What he's known to be is a person that doesn't pay well. That's what he's known to be. He's known to have a whole industry where, there's no insurance, basically. Really. So, yeah, he that man. What the hell is this?
NAFTA, Bill Clinton's favorite.
This is
And
Melania
between
Trump.
offices, striving for
Listen
success.
to this shit.
We're somewhat preaching
I'm
to the
sorry.
converted.
Look, I cannot listen to Elon Musk. I'm sorry, man. I know he's not entertaining because he's much smarter than this. So you could tell he's kind of talking down to them, but they're so stupid they can't figure it out. But here, I want to hear this. I want to hear her silly ass talk. Excuse me. She's got some nerve coming to the United States of America and having a husband where the main platform is hating on immigrants. And it's not just immigrants in general. It's the brown ones. That's basically what it is. It's you don't hear them talking about any other immigrant coming to the country any other direction. Oh my God. Please stop that. Here we go.
New York City. Hello, Madison Square Garden.
Look, she could barely get that out of her mouth. Hello, Madison Square Garden. Oh, it's like, oh my God. I just really, can I even muster up the strength to even listen to her right now? Because this is just, oh my God. Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, this is something else. Listen to this shit. Look, this is so funny. This is what I don't understand about these MAGA people. Like, they talking about immigrants and a lot of them are like first and second generation immigrants themselves. And this lady happens to be the husband of the man they voting for, and she's a damn immigrant. It's like, it is really very, very strange. It's very strange.
Our hometown, where architectural symbols of strength, courage, and unity create a canvas for the world's undisputed capital of industry. Where titans of finance, fashion, and entertainment convene among an iconic range of superior design, structures, and artistic accomplishments. And American ingenuity blossoms among determined citizens who race across city streets and between offices.
Yo, man, she can barely speak English, and she's married to the dude that is the anti-immigrant person. He's the Keep America Great Again. Well, that's so funny. I just find that to be hilarious. Like, they don't practice what they preach at all, do they? No, not at all. She can barely speak English, and I'm not saying it as a diss. I'm saying she doesn't speak it that well for an immigrant, is what I'm saying, because I've heard people all around the world speaking English, way better than this, who aren't American, who grew up in other countries, and all over Africa, Europe, and she is like, damn, she's American, and what is this? Listen.
Striving for success. It is you who are the heartbeat of this great
It's heartbeat.
metropolis.
It's you who are the heartbeat. You are the heartbeat. Oh my goodness.
It is you who are the pulse of this America.
She couldn't even say pulse, man. It is you that are the pulse. The pulse. Oh my goodness.
America.
I know. Look, I'm just saying, this is what's not good about fascism is that my family is from the US, from the colonial period, both sides of my family. So when I see these people talking about this American shit, and they're talking so poorly about immigrants and things like that, I start looking into some of them, and I found out that a lot of them are only like first and second generation immigrants. Really, the ones that are really the harshest ones. You would be so surprised, man. And here is another example. This is Trump's actual wife, the anti-immigrant president, and his wife is an immigrant. That is very, very interesting. That is very, very interesting, because he lives in the US. You see? So, okay. That's what it is. That's what it do for Maga. Okay. All right. But I know that's not American. She's not American. There's a difference. Obviously. There's definitely a difference. And she's not the same type of American I am. You see, is basically what I'm saying. So as far as whatever she's up to, I could care less anyway, just by de facto of her own ignorance, her own ignorant practices. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's definitely far less American than me. Her word definitely does not count over my word. You see what I mean? Like, and Trump is just a damn fool. I mean, these people support him. He's supposed to be the pro-American, anti-immigrant dude, and then he goes out and marries an immigrant. And these people are so stupid. They just sit right there and, oh, yeah, let me buy Trump sneakers. Yeah, man. Yeah, Trump loves me. He loves America. Yeah. No, Trump loves his own pockets and his foreign lady, basically. That's what it looks like to me.
Yet, New York City is unforgiving. In fact,
Unforgiving.
our lives are complicated, even during the best of times. And sadly,
How long have you been here to even know what the best of times are?
today, a declining quality of life coupled with economic instability makes it difficult for business to thrive. Love you too.
But is it better than the country that she comes from? That's my question to her. I think so. I think so. So I think that she's living the best of her life right now in the United States of America. So I don't know how hard things got for her. You know what I'm saying? But I think she's living her best life. I think she's living it far better than what it would have been if she would have stayed where she was from. You know, I'm just saying. I'm guessing. I don't know. I can't guarantee it, but it appears to be so. It appears to be so. Like, I mean, could she be the president's wife in her own country? You know, I wonder, bro.
Crime is on the rise, while public safety diminishes, creating an environment where families with young children choose to relocate. And this story repeats itself from coast to coast across our nation.
Frank, your comments are 100% on point. Indeed. And it's so sad, man. It is, in fact, our own doing. You know, the U.S. acted too late, in my view, in regards to, you know, heading this kind of stuff off. I think they were aware of it years ago, but they just didn't anticipate its effectiveness, you know, with the disinformation. But it's true, it has to have something to play on. The disinformation, you know, it connects with the stupidity and also the fascism, you know. Yeah, and then look at it, it just becomes a cocktail, man. And it's so it comes with contradictions too, because look, these people are promoting anti-immigrant sentiment. Now, it might just start with those immigrants, but we know it will spread because we know the nature of how this works, right? It's going to spread to other immigrants too. It's definitely will. Immigrants like her, immigrants, she may not anticipate it, but you know, it is going to come down to that, because if everybody's going to be forced to show their credentials, like who they are, what right do they have to the land, is like, hey, I don't have a problem with it. It's not going to harm me because my family's from the colonial period on both sides of my family. So I'm totally fine with that if it has to be. But I just think that would be so ridiculous to do. But these MAGA people don't think it's ridiculous, and a lot of them would be cut out of anything, I guarantee you. But and here's look at it. Melania is the proof of that. You see what I mean? Look, Trump didn't marry a MAGA lady. He went and got himself Eastern European fashion model. That's what he did. You know, the American broads they weren't special. They weren't exotic enough, I guess, for him. You know.
This is America.
I'm sorry to talk like this today, y'all, but really, look at who we're talking about. These people have said far worse.
For generations, this town has produced America's most fearless leaders, whose mark changed the course.
Exactly. And these people in this goddamn audience, they don't know even she knows that. Wow, fuck. They don't even know that she even knows that. She's just playing the hustle. She's hustling, baby. And these people are so goddamn stupid They just go for it, man.
Of the world. New York City and America needs their magic back. A country of tomorrow.
Yo, Wab, I think I don't think what we got here is socialism though. I think that's a misnomer, you know. Like socialism is not what's going on over here, but it's but how they do it, I think, is very wise for countries to, and particularly citizen folk of different countries to look into, because it's just a matter of how you manage the money. So, you know, I think that's all it's really about overall. But you should look into it. Everybody, like I said, I pay basically the same that I would pay in any major city in the US tax wise, right? Now, maybe a tiny bit more, but what I get for that is way more than any American would ever come close to getting. You see what I mean? Bottom line, that's what it comes down to. My health care is covered. My education cost is covered. My kids' education is covered. What else? My I'm sorry, y'all. I've been on here for a minute. But many other things are covered. Many things, you know, there's many benefits. If you have a child, everybody gets a year off from paid leave. When you have a child, everyone here gets 5 weeks paid leave every year from work. You know, it's a lot of benefits that come built into the system here. And it's because of the tax system. Now, you hear people say often that, oh, y'all pay a lot more in taxes, but that's not true when you look at what we get for it. So that's what you should really focus on. What do you get for what you pay? And if you're getting less for what you pay for, you should always see that as a problem. I don't think I get less than what I pay for. I think I get a lot for what I pay for. That's what I think. And so maybe it's worth some other people looking into it too, you know. But let me go on to Trump here. I can't listen to this lady no more. I'm sorry, but she's just a joke, you know. I'm gonna let the MAGA folk worship her. They're gonna get on their knees. Here's Trump. They're gonna get on their knees for her. Melania. Yes, they will.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much to a very popular former First Lady, hopefully First Lady again.
Boo, boo. Take her back where you found her.
And I just want to say a very big hello to a special place, New York, and to an incredible arena, Madison Square Garden. Incredible. And then we have all of the people that could fill it up 10 times. You take a look at outside what's going all the way down to the river, the beautiful, beautiful Hudson River. They're outside watching this now at levels that nobody's ever seen before. They've never had it. And I want to thank Jim Dolan. He's been incredible. He's been just incredible. The job they've done. Thank you. But I'm thrilled to be back in the city I love, and thousands of proud, hard-working American patriots. You're with me. We're all together. We've always... And I'd like to begin by asking a very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? I'm here today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote in this election, I will end inflation. I will stop the invasion of criminals coming into our country. And I will bring back the American dream. We need the American dream to come back home. Our country will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, stronger than ever before. This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of gross incompetence and failure, or whether we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. We will achieve success that no one can imagine. We will have the strongest economy, the most secure borders, the safest cities, the most powerful military, the best trade deals, and we will dominate the frontiers of science, medicine, business, technology, and space.
How long does this last?
And I'm asking you to be excited about the future of our country again. I'm asking you to dream big again. We're going to dream big again. We haven't been dreaming big at all. This will be America's new golden age. It's going to happen quickly, too, very quickly. Every problem facing us can be solved, but now the fate of our nation is in your hands. Next Tuesday, you have to stand up and you have to tell Kamala Harris that...
What does Trump think he can do? Does he think he's going to just bomb everybody into respecting American businesses in different parts of the world? Does he think that can't change? Or what does he want to do? Give that up? American assets and basically industry across the globe? Is that basically what Trump wants? Because you're not going to be able to stop these people with the bombs. It's not going to come down to just pressing the button. It's going to take a lot more than that. You see, so, you need another strategy, and Trump can never tell you what his strategy is. His only experience he has in diplomacy is retreating. That's his only experience. He retreated from Afghanistan, right? It's because of him that it went down that way. He expressed retreat from the Ukraine openly, right? Tells a story that Ukraine is part of Russia, so therefore Russia should have it. But the Ukrainians don't feel that way. So, and Trump's not a Ukrainian, so, why is he going against the other Ukrainians? You see what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, Trump has a lot of strange type of, let me see here. Yeah, it just does. It just does. But that's Trump. That's Trump for you. I mean, that's how it works with the Maga party. Okay, here we go. So let's hear a little bit more.
You've done a terrible job. That crooked Joe Biden has done a terrible job. You've destroyed our country. We're not going to take it anymore. Kamala, you're fired. Get out. Get out. You're fired. Early voting is underway in every swing state, and we are setting all-time records. They're voting, I tell you what. I don't want to talk about it. But we have to keep it going. You got to get out and vote. We just have to get out. And who would have thought this was going to happen? We're leading in every swing state. But it doesn't mean a thing. It only means how are we doing at the end. So we have 9 days from now. And we're going to defeat Kamala Harris, and we're going to win back the beautiful White House. And we're going to make it great again. And It's going to happen fast.
It's going to happen fast. It's going to happen fast. That's what he believes, that it's going to happen fast. How fast did it take COVID? How fast did it take him to deal with Puerto Rico when the hurricane hit them? You know, Donald Trump doesn't have a good record on fast anything.
Thank you. In less than 4 years.
I think he needed this rally most for his like ego, and I think they needed it. The Trump, campaign, they were getting whipped. Their numbers might look good, the polling numbers, but it doesn't look like they've been having a good time, and it doesn't seem like that the same bounce anymore. There's something there, but it just doesn't seem like the ball is really hitting the canvas, with a good bounce and with enough, bounce back in it. But yeah, this man's vocabulary is 500. It absolutely, like Trump, you can listen to him. You can try to listen to him if you want, but you already know what he's going to say. He's going to ramble, and then he will have about 2 minutes of substance in 20 minutes. And that 2 minutes is going to be filled up. It's going to be the border, transgenders, and the other one is drill. That's going to be the answer to everything. Drill. The U.S. is already drilling more oil than it's ever in the history of the country. It's the number one oil producer in the world, the United States of America. So drilling can't really be it's not that simple, there's other managing the economy takes details. Sometimes you can just waste money when you don't know how to manage things. Sometimes you can just waste and spend more and that's not a good thing. Wasting money is not a good thing either, right? But you can see Trump is not into the details of it all. He doesn't want to explain any details, and the people that's voting for him, they only need to hear that he's anti-immigrants. They need to hear, F that lady, that B word, Kamala, and she's Indian. And but meanwhile, Trump's wife, what is she? What's Trump's wife? I mean, like, yeah, what is she? Melania, she's not born American. She might be an American citizen, but she's not, born American, right? So what is she then? Like, but that, there's always this hypocrisy with them, man. Somehow they say one thing, but they're allowed to do the other things themselves if they want.
Kamala Harris has shattered our middle class. She cast the deciding votes that launched the worst inflation in the history of our country. She cost the typical American family over $3,000 in a short period, but over $30,000 over the last 3 years. She killed 50,000 manufacturing jobs.
The thing about it is that I see why Trump, he can only do these kind of events. It's because, they won't stop him and fact check him here at these events. There's no news media to do that. So he can just say whatever he wants to say. And those people, they get it legitimized because there's no fact checking. So they also end up believing, oh, this must be true. He said it. Hey, yeah, everybody's going along with it. Yeah, you see. And Trump, he avoids being fact checked. So, yeah, to me, it's like he could just be saying anything. I don't even listen to him to even know what the facts are that he's saying anymore, because it's almost certain that if you just check out anything that he's saying, it wasn't like he made it sound. Yeah, Trump is out there, man. Bro, Trump is looking good here. Oh yeah, I mean, he's not looking that bad now because I think since enough people showed up, you know what I mean. It gives you a little boost. I agree. He doesn't look that bad here, not physically, but you know.
Year alone. Now Kamala wants to raise the typical family taxes by nearly $3,000 a year and impose a 33% tax hike on all domestic production. If Kamala Harris gets 4 more years, our economy can never recover.
You know, Trump cannot read. He can't read. And the manner in which he speaks English, it indicates, it leans to that. It's giving that he's almost illiterate. He's a very slow reader. What's the word for today? Hey, this guy, because you see he's reading the teleprompter there. Look how slow he's reading. Look, he's squinting his eyes too.
Production.
You see?
Taxes by nearly $3,000.
He's looking right at the teleprompter. And then he's going to turn to the left, and there's another teleprompter there. See?
This year alone. Now Kamala wants to raise the typical family taxes by nearly $3,000 a year and impose a 33% tax hike on all domestic production. If Kamala Harris gets 4 more years, our economy can never recover.
You see, he's doing it like that because he's reading it that slow. That's why he's saying it that slow. The man is literally reading it.
If I win, we will quickly build the greatest economy in the history of the world.
That's very funny because that's what we have right now. See, again, it's not how well the economy's doing. It's what are you doing with the economy's money, in a comprehensive manner. And also, is it circulating through all the areas of the society that it needs to? Also, that's called infrastructure, not just money. You see, but it takes money to build infrastructure, and infrastructure is always changing because populations are always changing and growing. You see, so these are things people need to be up on all the time, but this is not stuff that Trump is talking about. He doesn't talk about this stuff at all. But look, he's reading it, and look at how slow he's reading.
Which is what we had in our last term. We will rapidly defeat inflation, and we will very simply make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable.
See, he just deviated from the reading right there. Now he's trying to get back to it. I mean, he's good at that part, but this is how fast he reads.
Massively cut taxes for workers and small businesses, and we will have.
Because it's not his eyes. Because if it was, they would have had already that part resolved. It's not that. This guy reads this slow.
No tax on tips. No tax.
No tax on tips. Look, how about just have a law banning poverty? How about that? Then you don't have to get into the details. No poverty. Everybody should have the right to have a place to lay their head and food and shelter. Right? How about we have that in healthcare and education? How about we just have that and don't worry about the details? Don't worry about should somebody who's, should they pay tax on tips or all of this? When you cover most of the basics, you let people figure the rest of the shit out themselves, but he's not for that. Trump, he's not for that. He's dealing with the cocktail bartenders and the, dining industry specific.
On overtime and no tax on. So
if you park cars, he's talking to you.
Social security benefits for our seniors. And I'm announcing a new policy today that I will support a tax credit for family caregivers who take care of a parent or a loved one. It's about time that they were recognized, right? They add so much to our country and are never spoken of, ever, 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 but they're going to be spoken of now. Thank you all very much. I'll also...
Do you really believe he has any intention on implementing anything like that, or is he just saying it because it's the last week of the election? Like, he couldn't talk about that a few months ago, could he? No, not when he was running against Biden. No. Not even when he was debating Kamala Harris that one time. I shouldn't say debating because it makes it sound like it was a whole lot. But that debate, that one time, you know? Yeah, this is crazy, man. Let me see. Web, what's up? I see he's doing here. He's talking to a certain demographic of white, middle, class folk, even though he's generally, come on, man. Man, these people eat it up like dirt too, man. They're so foolish.
Make interest on Carlo.
Well, look, the people that followed Hitler were foolish too, bro. That's what it was. I mean, it wasn't, those camps weren't even, the reasoning for building the camps had nothing to do with Jews. And they started locking up other people. And then the hidden plan, bigger plan was, now we're going to go after them. You see? So they warmed up to it. So you have to think of that in the U.S. context. They first start talking about building camps for this type, the immigrant, the Southern immigrant. But then when they run out of those, who else is going to fill it? And that's the part they don't want to talk about. So that's typical fascism, These people don't know anything about it. They don't study it. They don't read it. They think it's just a trope. They just think it's a trope word you use, socialism, communism, and they don't even know what it really means. Marxism. They don't actually really have any clue what it means, bro. They don't. Let alone, do you really think they even know what the fuck democracy is? Think about it. I don't think a lot of these people do. And many of them damn sure probably never even read their own constitution, bro.
Tax deductible, but only for cars made in America.
That'll get you every time. That'll get you every time. Yes.
America.
Only in America.
And we will achieve energy independence, and we will do something we want so badly. We're going to do something. You know what we're going to do? Front row Joes. I got front row Joes here. I got the ladies from North Carolina, number 249. This is the 200, and you look so beautiful. We have a lot of people. They followed us, but we're going to do something. The ladies can tell you what we're going to do. We're going to drill a baby drill.
You see,
and I will terminate.
Typically, this is really his talking style. He kind of goes up and down, But with what you get out of it, you don't get anything out of it. Now he's talking about drill, baby, drill. He's been talking a lot, but what did you learn? Like, name one thing that you learned. There's one thing I could say that he said that he's never said before, and he just admitted it. But name anything else. But I will tell you this. He said elder care, people that take care of a family member, they're going to start they're going to do something about that. I forget what he said, but it's interesting enough to follow up on, to want to know the details of it. But outside of that, can you remember anything else that he said? I mean, he just rambles in circles. It's the same things revisited over and over. So after a while, the substance there's almost no substance in his speeches, man. Let me see here. My point is, these are the people that wanted cheap labor. These are the folks that are scared of the black white men. Exactly. Absolutely. And they might have a few black people that go along with them, but they're just used as tropes, man. It's so obvious that it is. It's just used as a, what do they call that? What did they call that? Um, a a token. They're used as tokens in MAGA, essentially. That's the term. They use this tokens. They just show a black person here and there. This one's running. This one agrees with us here and there. But typically, to be honest, right now, I think the data that's come back recently is that, in the beginning, the fear was is that more black men would be voting for Trump this time. But and actually, I think the data that they're getting back is suggesting that less black men voting for Trump this time, more have voted for Kamala Harris than Biden and Trump. All those years, more black men have voted for Kamala Harris. So actually, black men, it appears, I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong, but it appears that something's changed there. Let me see about that. I'm gonna look that up before I bounce out. Wab, I'm gonna drop the link one more time, man. Maybe you can make it up. If not, I'll catch you on the next one. But this has been a real strange. It's been strange watching this one. Madison Square Garden. They say that it's not a battleground state, so why is Trump there? And people are saying it's because it's where he's from and all of that. And yeah, I take that to be like, yeah, he just needs a good audience because he's been the road trips have been hard on Trump. And yeah, so to me, other people said that it looked to them like it's waving the white flag, like going back to New York. And right now, it's like saying, I'm done. I'm finishing my campaign pretty much. Or yeah, that's what some people are saying. I think I think he needed a shot that he knew he could get from New York, and then he's gonna attempt to continue. But these last days are gonna be hard on Trump, man. So whatever it is, it's not up to Kamala Harris to save the United States from fascism. She's only one lady. The citizens have to want it too. And if they don't want it, if they want 4 years of Trump, they're gonna get 4 years of Trump. They're gonna get 4 years of Trump. And yeah, that's just how it goes. I'm not too sure that I don't think those 4 years are going to go well. And that's my main concern. Like, Americans should go through something that has a chance of going well. At the very least, Trump has no chance of going well at all. And it's not even just, I hate to say this, but it's not even just the racism. It's just the pure fact that the people are there. They're going to be there to rob the country's coffers, to steal whatever information, sell it to the highest bidder, and rob basically do harm to the country. I mean, seriously, Trump is a person that he likes yes men, but he never thinks about who the yes men are. They're all people that are out for their own motives too, because that's what makes them yes men. You see? So, Trump attracts that dynamic always to him. And he's always the arbitrator, the one that makes the deal, how much here and there, no matter if the deal works good or bad, right? And he relies on everyone else, Trump, except having the last decision. But Trump is, he's a troubled guy, man. But in any case, y'all, I'm out. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. This has become very bizarre, but we here for the watching. No problem. If Trump wants to entertain us, I'm in for it. I'm just glad that whatever Trump does, he's going to, I won't be in the U.S. particularly to experience it. But I don't think Americans should be too fooled into thinking that things are going to go the way Trump plans it to go, even if he is elected. You see, because I just think that he got so many red flags this time around that what he might find is that the opposition to anyone deviating from the Constitution and the law is going to be met, differently, so, but we'll see about it. We'll see about it. Remember to vote, register to vote. That's the easiest thing to do. Peace.
With this eclectic organic style, activating your goosebumps and making you smile. It feels